All right, good morning, folks. So today we are going to start a project that I've been wanting to do since we first moved into this house a couple months ago. And that is we are going to build a garden shed. The reason why we need to build this garden shed is because of this. It's because of this. As you can see, I've got a lot of lawn gear. I've got my 2 mowers, I've got a roller, I've got all of these chemicals, and then I've also got a bunch of stuff that's hanging up back over there. And what I really want to do is free up this garage so that I can do 2 things. Number 1, put my wife's car in the garage, and then also I can get all of my woodworking gear, which is my saws there, and then everything that's pretty much up on these racks, to a place where I can actually use them on a regular basis because I have other projects that I like to do besides just being the lawn. That brings me to our shed project. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually build it right back here where this bench is. In fact, where I'm gonna put it is right back behind that bench. So I'm gonna move that bench. I need to get rid of these 2 trees that are right there. And they're not really trees, they're more like scrubs, but they're not very pretty and they take up a lot of room. And then I'm going to move the shed back as far back as I can back there. So today, what we're gonna work on is the foundation of this shed. And to move around a little bit of dirt, I do not want to do the same level of dirt moving that I did for the parking pad. And the reason why is because I had to dig out a lot of stuff, and I don't want to do that for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 that I don't want to do that is because it's a lot of clay, which means I'm going to have to move a lot of material to get down deep. Number 2, I don't want to get into the business of going so far that I have to then re-worry about like the foundation. There is a lot of good dirt and a lot of good clay that's really packed in, so I'm going to work off of that. That being said, I also don't want to go very high because I don't want to have the shed be a couple feet off the ground and have to worry about getting, especially my big reel mower, which is pretty heavy. I can't just lift it. It's got to be able to roll out. So it can't be like 2 feet in the air. It needs to be pretty close to the ground. So that's what I'm going to work on today. We're going to work on getting everything leveled out. I'm probably going to go over to the landscape supply store and get a bunch of crusher run to help build out the foundation for the timbers. And then I'm also going to try and get the timbers and see if I can get that far today. We'll see how much work it is to get all of this stuff out of the way first. And then we can decide how much I'm going to be able to get done this weekend. Got a lot of things going on this weekend. This is one of many projects. So stay tuned. Let's get started. All right, day 2. So we didn't quite finish everything we need to get done. And since it's Sunday, the landscape supply store is closed, so I can't get more of the crusher run, which means that I had to do the next best thing, which was to go to Home Depot and get bags of the crusher run. So a little more expensive, but I did get the bulk rate. If I don't use it all, I'll just return it. And then I also have the timbers for the base that we'll put together. And I got me a new toy, got me a new cordless 18-volt circular saw because I cut the cord on my last one. And hopefully this will be exactly what I need. And we just got to get to work, get this leveled off. And then once we are done leveling, we can start putting the timbers in. Let's get to it. right, so I'm using these 6-inch lag bolts. Used them before, used them on this parking pad. They work great. They really sink in, and they're meant for outside, which is key because if you use something else that's not meant for outside, they'll rust and they break off, and then you got other issues. Well, that's it. That's day 2 of the shed project. The only thing I have left to do is fill that in with gravel, and I'm actually going to put down some landscape fabric and gravel, but I'm not doing that tonight, obviously, because I'm exhausted. But I mean, the foundation it's level and it's sturdy, and we're good to go. Once we get the gravel in there, I think that we'll be in really good shape, and now we can just start building it. So anyway, stay tuned for the next step. Thanks, guys. That's it. That is the end of the base for the shed. And as you can see, I got a lot more topsoil to kind of even things out. It actually looks a lot better because of the fact that this was kind of a bowl and there was a bunch of roots that were sticking out, and it just didn't look very good. And then I also added a second piece of 4x6 right here to kind of lift it up a little bit, because the distance between the bottom of this base to the parking pad was quite extensive, and it was just going to be too steep for that dirt to hold in place, and it would end up going away. So let me tell you the logic behind what I did here. So I only wanted to do 1 row of the 4x6, and of course I notched each one of the corners in, including the middle section. And I had to raise it up quite a bit with the road base that I used, which is the crusher run. And because of that, it was so high that it would eventually erode out. So the rocks on the inside helped to hold everything in, and then the dirt on the outside, all the topsoil, holds everything from coming out. And then that should give us a nice even space. From here, we're actually going to build up the floor, which is a bunch of lumber that I bought yesterday. That's going to be the next video. But I want to go ahead and shut this one down. So hopefully you enjoyed this first video. This is just a lot of manual labor, and it was to get everything in its proper location so that we can actually build up from there. If you don't have a level, sturdy foundation for the shed, eventually things are going to start moving around, and then you're going to have all kinds of problems. And so I wanted to make sure that this was going to last. Now, I also didn't put any pins all the way into the dirt to hold everything in place, because if I ever do need to move it, which I hope I don't, but if I ever do, then I can, and I don't have to worry about like taking a bunch of stuff apart. Eventually, the parking pad that I'm standing on right now is going to become a workshop if I'm here long enough. I'm hoping I'm here long enough, but you guys know how I am about moving. So once that happens, I want to continue to have my shed for my lawn stuff. So that's really kind of what we're working on, and the plan that we're kind of pursuing. So that's why we put it here. It's semi-permanent, but if I had to slide it one way or another, it's not like the end of the world. I would just have to redo the foundation of where it sits. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. The next part of this video will be to build the floor of the shed. And I've already got all the lumber, and the start of the next video probably won't even change my shirt. So, because we're going to start that right now. So see you on the next video. Have a great one, everybody.